Hey guys, happy Tuesday. It's September 14th today. I was planning on checking in every day after school, but I forgot my camera yesterday. So I was like, all right, I'll make sure I grab it tonight so I can just fill in both days today. And I forgot it again. So we're gonna record today on my phone and hopefully I'll remember my camera for tomorrow. So I am gonna fill you in what we did Monday and Tuesday. So that was our third and fourth day of school. Again, I kind of showed what I was planning to do in that planning video, and it's already changed quite a bit. But if you're a teacher, which I'm assuming you are, you know that that's just how things go. So just for fun, let's look at what I had planned for Monday and see what I actually did. Yes, yes, no, 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 yes. So we did a little audible on Monday. We did read Enemy Pie. The themes for all of our read aloud books through our curriculum this week are the importance of being kind. So Enemy Pie was our first book. We did do a mini lesson about respect, which is hanging up back here. And then this is kind of where the audible happened. We did a little rerouting. So I have quite a few fidgets this year. Mainly I wanted to use as like a calm down area if kids are, mad, frustrated, upset, whatever. They can come back here, use it. I have some sand timers in here, like here's a minute one. They can flip it over, take a little bit of time to decompress, regulate their emotions. So I wanted, the kids were so excited for them. So then I wanted to make sure we came up with rules and expectations together for these. So this is what they came up with for fidgets. So using at appropriate times, which we talked about would be snack, it's an okay time to grab one. Anytime they're feeling angry, upset, we use zones of regulation. So anytime they're not in the green zone, if they need to just take a quick break to help relax and get themselves back ready to focus. But that we talked about how that's the time to use a timer. If we have indoor recess, the read aloud after recess, like when I'm reading a chapter book, because they're just sitting at their spots listening. So I said that's an okay time if you grab one, just to help you you don't get back to the green zone after recess. We're usually pretty hyper excited, maybe mad about a game or got into a fight with a friend. So that'd be a good time. Or I said if they're listening to an audiobook like on Epic, that'd be an okay time as well. We talked about how to use them in a calm way. This is my favorite because again, these are things that they came up with. Putting them away when done. Share, so not fighting over the fidgets, and then one fidget per person. So this we did yesterday, which was necessary, but that just kind of took up a little bit of time. We also read this book, and then they came up with their tables of some promises that we can make as a class to make it a great year. And then the index tower card challenge, that took longer than I thought, but it's because they were getting really into building their towers, which is awesome. They did a good job of coming up with things that they had in common with the partner that they had. Instead of doing it at their tables and having it to be everybody at their table that they had in common with each other, I gave them partners. I drew sticks, so it was just a random partner. And they did a really good job. They would just go, one person would, do you like brownies? They'd be like, no. Okay, do you like cake? Yes. Then they'd write that down for their thing that they had in common. I'll insert some pictures here of their towers, but they did a really good job of writing down the thing that they had in common, then creating their tower. So that was actually super fun. Would definitely recommend that one. Again, just gave them index cards. Before they could use the card to build their tower, they had to find something they had in common, write it down, then they could use it to build. And yeah, we did not get into our email at all in the Chromebook. We did not do the future self-writing, and we did not do the intro to number talks at all. So that was great. All right, for Tuesday, books got flipped. We read Sophie's Masterpiece, so that's fine. We did not do the voice levels. We did do the Better Alphabet Song. We did not go on Epic today. We did do Place Value Day 1, so that was good. We did not do Tower Stacking. All right, so let's talk Tuesday. The reason today got thrown off a little bit is because we do the STAR test through Renaissance Place. We do it like 5 times a year. So our window's usually 2 weeks long, and our first window started Monday and goes through next week. But I kind of just like getting it done with when I can, especially now. I kind of want to see where they're at right after summer. I wanted to know where they were before we started any instruction. That way I can, really compare of where they started after summer to the progress we made together. So we did our reading one today. So that took about 45 minutes in the morning. And then we will do our math one tomorrow. So that also will throw off our plans for tomorrow, but that's okay because we had to do it at some point. But that pushed back. We were going to do that mini lesson, which we did not do, voice levels. And then I was going to do the future writings one, and we did not do that. But we did really focus on our reading stamina today, and we got a new record of 6 minutes and 49 seconds. And then we didn't get onto our email, but I did show them Book It because they had never been on there. And that was towards the end of the day. I just had kind of lost steam, so wanted something fun and easy to show to them. But that was a good thing to introduce this afternoon. We did do our first day of place value, which is just identifying place value spot and then reading and that's it. Reading numbers to the 100,000, so 6-digit numbers. And they did overall a really good job with that as well. So took time to introduce like our whiteboards. We do a lot of whiteboard math use our whiteboards for math. So how to handle those, and then got into our first lesson. So that was good. We also finished our first chapter book read aloud, which was I Survived the Attacks of September 11th. So we finished that book today. But yeah, that was it for day 4. So it's been a good day. It's been good getting to know them. It's just, you always forget how tiring it is at the beginning of the school year. And I think I said that last week too, but I'm just tired. And I hit a wall by like 2:15, 2:30, so I know they are too. So the end of our days have been pretty chill so far. But again, I need to ease into it, so I know they need to ease into it. And I want them to enjoy coming here, so I don't need to jam pack. It's literally the 4th day of school, so I'm not gonna try to push and do too much. I am excited to look at the data from the STAR reading test that we took today, because I haven't really had a chance to sit down and read with them yet. And then I also am excited to see how they do on their math one tomorrow. So we do have 2 goals so far that we're working on, so I'll tell you those now so I can update at the end of the week. First goal was for everyone to know every student's name, so we're working on really getting those names down. Holding my phone's awkward. We have been playing a game, we did it yesterday once, but we'll keep doing it, called Who's Missing. So we all sit in a circle, 2 kids go out in the hallway, and while they're in the hallway, I draw a name, and that student goes and like hides behind the nugget here. I set it up. And the 2 people come in and they have to figure out who's missing, and whoever guesses it first, they each only get 3 guesses. Whoever gets it first gets to keep going. And then I draw a new name to go out against them. So it's been a fun way to get people's names, because obviously the kids in here, I pull a name so they're able to see who goes, so connect the name there. And the people who come in are looking to see who's missing, and I have pictures up on the wall so they can use those, and they look at the names in the drawers and whatnot. But that's been a good way to practice that. Our second goal is not talking when other people are talking. That goes for if I'm talking or during morning meeting when other people are sharing. So those are the 2 things we are working on this week. Feel like we might need to talk about picking up at the end of the day, because the floor doesn't look great. Could be better. And like stuff on tables. So I like to make the custodians' lives as easy as possible in my room. So we need to do better at that. So that's gonna be a little conversation for tomorrow. But anyways, that's it for days 3 and 4. Keep you posted tomorrow. See you then. All right, happy Wednesday. I brought my camera today, but I left it in my car, and I'm not about to walk out there just to grab that to come back in here. So day 2 on the phone. But anyways, I'm gonna fill you in on what we did today. We took our STAR math test today, so that took a good chunk of our morning. This math one probably took us about like 45 minutes just because we wait for everyone to get done. So it took a little bit longer than the reading one, which is fine. And then I'll show you the kind of the lessons and the books that we read for today. This was my favorite one of the day, so we did ways to solve problems. I should have added on there, ways to solve problems when Mr. Nelson is busy or like working with other students. So we had a few different problems, and they came up with solutions that they could do that did not involve having to interrupt me or needing my assistance. And obviously we talked about how if there's an emergency, you can interrupt me whenever, but for these things are all things that they can solve on their own. So this was a very good lesson. 12 out of 10 would recommend. Hopefully they actually remember what they said when these situations come up. We also read The Can Man. This is one of my favorite books. So good. If you've never read this one, definitely one to order. Ties into the theme of the importance of being kind, like all of our read aloud or picture books do this week, but this is by far my favorite one that we read during the week. And then we finished yesterday the I Survived book. So I made the decision to start The Wild Robot, which is one of my favorite chapter books. I told my kids, they will hear me say that all year, that this is one of my favorite books for like every book we read. But love this book. Also, I kind of warned them that it started slow, because it does, in my opinion. And ever since I've done that, because I did last year too, and whenever I warn them that it starts slow, they always end up saying that it doesn't. And the years that when I didn't say anything, they would say, oh, this is kind of boring. So I'm always just going to warn them that it starts slow. And then, but yeah, so we got to like, the chapter's super short, so we read 8 chapters. Yeah, I might as well show you math. For today, oh no, that was yesterday's. Just kidding. That was our exit ticket. So started The Wild Robot. And for math, we're obviously working on place values. So today we went from word form into standard form. So I had it written out in words on the board and they had to write it in standard form. And I did read it to them because otherwise I'd be assessing their reading abilities and not just their ability to hear a number, write it down. So I did read them to them as well, but they did really well with that. And I have this game that we'll try to play tomorrow afternoon. I don't ever get through everything that I've been planning, so. I got this Battleship game on TPT, or you can get it from mathfoldergames.com. But basically the kids will write their own number and then they're trying to guess the other person's number. So I'm going to tell them that they can ask whatever they want. So they could ask like, is the number in your 100,000th place odd? And if they say no, then they can cross off all the odd numbers. So more like a yes or no to fill it out. So I feel like if you could only ask which number it is, that it would take forever. And also I feel like that's kind of good, making them think more like outside the box, where if they can ask like, is it greater than 5 or whatnot. So try to play this tomorrow. We will just slide in the back of our clean slates instead of laminating or putting them in a file folder. So hopefully this goes well. And then I spent after school organizing my back counter. I'll put a picture here, but it was a disaster. I've just been catching everything there, just throwing it there. So that looks much better like this. And we PLC'd as a team this morning, and that's kind of our day. So, yeah, I'm still very tired, but it's been more good days. I just always forget the things that they can't do that I think they can do, but they will be able to do. For example, on Wednesdays, we send home what are called Wednesday folders. So every day, kids only bring home stuff on Wednesdays for their families. I, in 3rd grade, just put the stuff out that they need. They go grab it, put it in their folder, and put it in their backpack. But in most other grades, they either have a mailbox they're grabbing it through, or like in kindergarten and 1st grade, the teachers stuff the folder for them and then put it in their backpack. So I forget that this is like the first year they've had to do it on their own. So it was like a little, just a little backed up at the table when I'd call their name because it was taking forever to grab them. They were trying to put each sheet in there first instead of grabbing them all, then putting them all in, but we'll get there. Little things, but otherwise it's been great. And I had been letting them use the fidgets when I was doing my chapter book read aloud after recess. After today, I told them we're gonna take tomorrow off and then try again on Friday, just because they kept changing them, like they were coming back and getting new ones. And we had talked about yesterday how you just grab one and then go, because otherwise if people are going back and forth, it's distracting for me reading and for other people. So it wasn't, not that it's a huge deal, but I don't want them to just get used to continue doing that. So I told them we're gonna take one day off tomorrow and then we'll revisit the expectations and try again on Friday. Because I mean, they were doing good the other days. I just don't wanna make it into them just playing with them and messing around and changing them out. So anyways, that was Wednesday. So no more star testing. We got our reading and math ones done, so we can actually do some, like, I don't know, those just take up a lot of time. So I'm excited to not have to worry about those tomorrow. So anyways, I'm going home. I'm dog sitting a dog that I need to pick up for a week. So I'm gonna go do that, and I'll see you in the morning. Bye. All right, happy Friday. It's the 17th today. I didn't check in yesterday because I just honestly forgot. And then here we are today. So kind of fill you in what we did the last couple days for our first week, and then I'm calling it a week and getting out of here. Honestly, my brain is just kind of mush right now, so I don't even know what we did yesterday. I was trying to think. We did a lot more with the secret stories, but I'm gonna make that a whole separate series. So if you wanna know what we did for the secret stories, go check those out. But today, the big thing that we did today would have been an art project, and we actually did our future self writing finally. So I had students write a letter to their future selves, just kind of telling them like how they're feeling about 3rd grade right now, some of their favorite things in general, and then some goals they have for the year. And that's kind of the only directions I give them, just because it's really fun to see and compare their writing at the end of the year then. So like for spelling and everything else, I just said just go for it. So some of them just kind of made more like lists and bullet points. Some of them actually wrote out sentences, and then in May I will give these back to them so they can see how much their spelling's improved, their handwriting, their writing capabilities. So that's always really fun, just comparison to do. And then we did this fall art project, which I will show you. Like I said earlier, I think that at some point I said we get $150 to spend on classroom supplies each year, and I did a lot more art supplies this year just because I don't do a lot of art and we don't have an art teacher and I need to be better. So far we've done the self-portraits last week, and then we did this leaf watercolor this week. So far I'm 2 for 2, so I'm proud of myself. And these actually turned out pretty good. I'll just show you some of them. There's gonna be a little bit of a glare because I have them in these sheet protectors, because then I can hang them above their hook in the hallway, and then instead of having to tape or whatever them up every time, I can just slide it out to give it back to them and then put their new art project in there. So I'm just gonna kind of flip through some of these. Oh, that one's mine. And this was a Paras. Oops, the last one. So, these are the watercolors I have. I just got off Amazon, and then we outlined these with oil pastels. I thought about going outside and getting leaves and tracing them, but decided just to let them draw their own. So we did that in oil pastel and filled it in with watercolors. Otherwise, we're done. We did our star testing this week and have kind of eased into a lot of our routines and procedures and whatnot. So next week we're gonna be getting into our actual schedule, which will be nice for everyone, just kind of get in our habit. I was kind of planning on starting some science this week, but we didn't get to that. We took longer, like our morning recess, we stayed out longer than we normally will, and we took some breaks in the afternoon and whatnot. But again, everyone's just easing and getting back into the school thing, and just had to do what we can. So I am gonna take off. So have a great weekend or whenever you're watching this, and I will see you for some updates next week.